Hello, everybody. We are glad to have you already here in our first live stream of Google Developer Group Puerto Morelos. First of all, I have to thank you all for being here, and I will talk first about what means to have a Google Developer Group here in Puerto Morelos. Okay, for those who doesn't know so much about uh, this type of communities, when you join a Google Developer Group, you will have the opportunity to meet local developers and entrepreneurs and another type of like students with similar interests in technology. Okay, GDG meetup event includes talks on a wide range of technical topics as Angular, Firebase, TensorFlow, where you can learn new skills as well through hands-on workshops, by example. No? The community prides itself on being an inclusive environment where everyone and anyone interested in tech, from beginner developers to experienced professionals, and all are welcome to join. Okay, saying that, I'm very glad because this is the first event ever of our community. We have the recognition at Google Developer Groups like since October, but we have been working very hard to have this type of events like today. Okay, uh, I will introduce Tuxter. Tuxter is a co-organizer of the Google Developer Group. He's a very a friend of mine. He's very expert on DevOps topic related security systems, and he already works at EPAM as DevOps security. Okay. Also, he have experience as teacher in Universidad del Caribe, Instituto Tecnológico de Cancún, and have several experience and have several certifications with Amazon. Okay. Now I would like to Tuxer to present yourself, please.
What can I say additional to that? Hello, guys. My name is Ismael Jimenez, but also known as Tuxter. I'm a computer systems engineer with a master in telecommunications. I have been a university professor at Universidad del Caribe and Tecnológico de Cancún since 2014, teaching computer networks and network security signatures. My professional experience has been focused on network servers, Linux, Windows servers, and recently more in AWS. I am currently certified as cloud practitioner and solutions architect. And I'm working currently on EPAM as a DevOps security engineer. So thank you for having me, Rafa.
No, it's a pleasure for me and our community to have you as an organizer. Thank you so much. And we have today in our first event a very special guest. He lives in India. His name is Siddharth Dayalwal. I don't know if I am saying that correctly. Maybe you can correct me, Sid. And the main topic for today is to be a contributor of Google Crowdsource. Okay, he will talk us about what Google Crowdsource means, and it's important that you know that Sid is very passionate for technology and having a desire to learn and explore more makes about several communities. By example, Sid have experience and have participated in more than 45 hackathons, in international hackathons. He is a very community guy, and he have a lot of experience, and this talk will be very useful for new developers and professional developers. Hello, Sid.
So Hola a todos, soy Siddharth Dayalwal de India. Encantado de conocerlos a todos. So this is a normal introduction which I tried to learn in Spanish. So I hope I didn't did any mistake. And thanks a lot, Rafael, for that wonderful introduction.
No, it's a pleasure for us, Sid. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Yeah, it's like the all pleasure is mine because as you said, I love talking to people, and community is what helped me grow in my life as well, like right from my college days. So yeah, I am very happy to be here speaking in front of you all guys.
Awesome. So talk us about what does Sid like, by example, this year, this COVID year. What have you been doing this year? In what events have you participated? And tell us about you. Uh,
Yeah, definitely. So when I entered into 2020, I had few, things to do, which I planned already in 2019 that I'll be doing this, right? So these were some like kind of resolutions for me. But then I started with, the community things, which I was already doing. And then I started with the hackathon part because in 2019, I attended many hackathons as an hacker, I would say. But after gaining some experiences, I thought of why not giving back to the community. So I started mentoring in hackathons and speaking at different hackathons. And like every weekend, I used to be at some of the other hackathon, helping hackers, sharing my experience, guiding them in their projects, and hosting different community events, helping my community members on a daily basis if they want any help in some organizing an event, or just conducting few things, or guiding them on few aspects of building a community around something, or just helping out the people out there. Because and when this COVID hit us everywhere and the pandemic took over everything, so that was, according to me, the best time in which we can connect with people from around the world. For example, me and Rafael all got connected with one of the hackathon that was Hack Against COVID, right? So see how COVID has created opportunity for many people. If that won't, like, the hackathon would not have been virtual, then me and Rafael would not have met without that, right? So I tried to took everything like in a positive way and tried to grab those opportunities which were in my reach, and that, according to me, has helped me a lot in getting the experience and exposure at the same time. And of course, a person should always learn at every stage of their life. So that was my main motto throughout the year this time. And yep, I always say people that never lose an opportunity. Everything has something different to just tell you or make you learn something new and exciting. So yeah, that was all I was doing, like attending community events, helping people, and hosting hackathons and everything just like that in general.
awesome. I think this is very useful because hackathons is a good start point
Hmm.
for students and many developers that want to start in new technologies, and this also work on soft skills like creativity and work in teams, by example. And I always have loved the hackathon, the main idea of hackathon. Okay. uh,
Yeah.
do you have any question, Tuxter?
Yes, Sid, what is Google Crowdsource and what does that
Yeah,
means?
definitely. So talking about Google Crowdsource is basically a Google product which comes into like two forms. You can, directly download the application from the Play Store, or either you can directly visit, www.crowdsource.google.com. So with this application, one can contribute and enhance the culture in their country, in their city, I would say, and help millions and millions people out there. Just not helping the people out there, you can also help make Google products better and better, so that the products which people use can in turn help their lives making better, right? So I like prepared few slides for the same. I'll be explaining each and everything. I'll be showing out few videos so that you can understand that in a more better way. And at the end of this talk, I would make sure that you guys can know what crowdsource is all about and how you can contribute and what are different things which can go throughout the application and the platform as well.
Okay, awesome. And you can tell us about uh, some technologies you have to or you need to use to be a contributor for Google Crowdsource.
Definitely, that's the very essential part and a very easiest part as well, because when I talk about Google Crowdsource, there is no code involved. You can directly, if you are a beginner, if you are a non-coder, you can directly, contribute to the platform, because that gives you an ease of contribution. It's just like a fun game you are playing, as if you are, playing any other game. It's so playful and it's so normal that even a beginner can contribute onto the platform.
Okay, so you can use any technologies you want. That doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, definitely, because there is not an any situation where you will be coding something or implementing something. Of course, the outcome of the Google Crowdsource photos, like there are different open image data set that is already published on the internet. You can use that thing with your machine learning model maybe. Also, there are different applications which you are using every day, and you can implement your projects with the applications of Google. And also there is another website, that is Teachable Machine, through which you can make your machine learning models, TensorFlow models, and different stuffs. But Google Crowdsource is altogether a different thing. You do not have to be a coder or a programmer to use that platform. It's all about contributing and enhancing your local culture, your local cuisine, your native place, and helping people around yourself and the other people who is visiting your city or your country, right? So there are altogether different things, and I'll be explaining each and everything of that.
Okay, that sounds great. And what's the mission of Google Crowdsource? What's the main objective?
Yeah, first I would not reveal that right now because I have like separate slide for that. So I will wait for that as of now. So
Uh,
like yes, definitely. So should I start like the slide sharing? If
yes, go on.
yeah, just a minute. All right. So I guess everyone can see the screen. If they can just write down yes in the chat so that I can make sure that everything looks good from their end.
Okay, please, you can comment on the live stream if you can see the slides. Slides. Okay, Daniel say yes. Andrew say
All right.
yes. We can go on.
Cool. So I'll start with the presentation now. So first of all, hope you all are doing great and safe at your end. And I'm sure you will be excited as this is the first event by GDG PM, and I'm excited too. So first of all, thanks a lot for joining. And so without wasting much time, let's proceed with the session. All right. So first of all, welcome everyone to this talk on Be a Contributor Google Crowdsource. And I'll start with my introduction. So currently I'm an AngelHack Hackathon Ambassador and a Progate Community Intern. Also, I'm a Google Crowdsource Influencer. That is the reason I'm giving this talk in front of you awesome people. Along with that, I'm also a Hacker and Coding Blocks Ambassador and the lead organizer for my very first hackathon, that is Hack This Fall. So that was all about me. And you can find me online on Twitter. So my username is on the footer. You can see Siddharth_hacks. The same is on Instagram as well. So don't forget to give me a follow over there. Yes. Also, before we move forward, I would recommend you guys to, share the screenshot. Like you can click a picture of YouTube stream and directly post it on social media so that, throughout the world, everyone is active on the hashtag Google Crowdsource. So everyone can directly connect with you and, just see your tweets or Instagram stories or something like that. And you can connect with the people around the world as well. So be interactive as much as possible in the chats, and I would be more than happy with that. So as Rafael asked in the beginning as well, that what is the Google's mission? So starting with very basic thing. So everything has a mission, right? in the same way, Google also has a mission about crowdsource. And it is very simple. It just says that to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful at the same time. So when I elaborate this statement, it states that collecting the data from around the world and organizing it in such a way so that it can be accessible to every single person living in any corner of the world. So with this, by saying that the person with least knowledge can access the information and use it in a better way, right? Also, you might be aware about the Google Translate. So I basically use the Google Translate to, convert the introduction session of mine into the Spanish language. So Google Translate helped me a lot in that way, right? So let us see the chat section now and write. So I want you people to write down your views on Google Translate, that where have you used Google Translate, or how have you used that, or what was the first moment when you used Google Translate. Just write that moment in the chats and I will be looking around that as well. Also, I'll be telling one more interesting fact about it. So every day, like more than 100 billion words are translated with Google Translate. And every day, the words that are translated are the ones that bring us together. So let us see this short video to just understand this in a more better way.
More than 100 billion words are translated every day.
Lift your hand.
Thank you very much for your help.
ご助力ありがとうございます。
Words about food,
よくたご
words about friendship, about sport, about belief, about fear.
Oh my God!
Words that can hurt and sometimes divide. But every day, the most translated words in the world are "How are you?" "Thank you." And "I love you."
So after watching this video, you might have observed few things, right? Basically, this video helps us to understand how users globally utilize the various Google apps or products, I would say. So people use it to run their errands, to do their course, and communicate with each other at the most basic level. Now I have another video for you guys. So again, talking about another Google product, you all might be also aware about the Google Lens. So also one of the interesting fact about Google Lens is for nearly 800 million people in the world struggles to read. And now for them, Google engineers have built a text-to-speech feature into Google Lens, right? So anyone can point a phone at a text and hear that text spoken out loud. So that is really a good thing. If you're not aware about any language, what you can do is just directly download the Google Lens application, just face your camera onto that text, and directly you can see that text translated into your language, right? So how cool is that? So let's watch this video to understand my points in a more better way. And this video has subtitles in English. So if because video is in Hindi language, so you can directly read out the subtitles. So I'll just play that for you once.
मेरा नाम उर्मिला है, ईपी की रहने वाली हूँ। मेरे 3 बच्चे हैंगे, स्कूल में जाते हैं और बच्चों को होमवर्क नहीं करा सकते हैं, लेकिन चलो मेरे बच्चे होशियार हो गए। थोड़ा सा न पढ़ लिख जाते, कोई भी पढ़ा लिखा को काम भाव वो नहीं कर सकते हैं। बार बार कहने पड़ती है उन लोगन के कि मतलब थोड़ा सा बता दिए। मुझे पहली बार जैसे बच्चों को मतलब बार बार कप्ता नहीं आ रही थी, मतलब फोटो लाई।
1 कप सोयाबीन बहियों में 4 कप पानी डालकर उबालें।
तो इसने पढ़ के सुनाया है और जैसे मतलब रिपोर्ट कार्ड आओ बच्चों को,
अंग्रेजी, हिंदी, गणित, विज्ञान।
तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि मतलब वो चीज जा चीज है, मतलब जा चीज है। अब तो मैं खुद के लिए बहुत कुछ काम कर लेंगे।
चालू खाता, बचत खाता।
अब जैसे रेलवे के टिकट कटाना है तो मैं कटा सकती हूँ, किसी के सहारा नहीं लेने पड़ता है। एक तो इसमें बहुत बेहतर है।
So you guys might have observed that the lady Urmila is now independent and can do the day-to-day tasks by herself, right? So now she don't need to ask for help from others like she earlier did. So her tasks like getting the train ticket, withdrawing cash from ATM, or checking with the report cards of her children and helping them in the studies and whatnot. So it all have become much easier just by using a product from Google, that is Google Lens, isn't it? So you see how Google Lens is helping thousands and millions of women like Urmila across the world in becoming independent. So this was just one example, right? Now let's talk about how you can make an impact using Google Crowdsource. Now here is a statement that AI is everywhere. So what do I mean by this statement? So now I would like to ask you guys, just use the chat section and write down your views on this. But that, where have you seen this AI? Have you seen any product where AI is used? Now AI stands for artificial intelligence, right? So what is that one situation or thing or object where you have observed AI as a functionality or anything? Just feel free to use the chat section, the live chat, and write down your answers over there, and I'll be looking around that. Yes, Rafael said Spotify playlist. Of course, AI is in there in the Spotify playlist. It works on recommendations and many other things as well. What else? Social networks. Yes, absolutely. Where else have you seen AI as an implemented object or model you have seen somewhere? Anything? Yeah, bugs. Of course, cyber bugs. Yep. There are many times that this happens as well on the internet. So yeah, that is absolutely correct. So let me tell you a few more points in the same. So basically today AI and ML play an important role in helping Google achieve its mission. And what do I mean by that? So basically artificial intelligence helps in exciting new ways, right? So you may have used different Google products like Google Search, which we all are using every day, right? Then Google Translate or Google Photos, like these all products are powered by AI. Now AI makes it easier for people to do things every day. For example, searching for photos of friends and family, and breaking down language barriers in Google Translate, or typing emails on the go. You might have observed the predictive typing nowadays in Gmails, like you are writing, hey, hope you are doing well, and then the Gmail directly predicts what you are going to write. You just need to hit the tab button, right? So what is all these things? This is all powered by AI. Now all these things that AI can do is also powered by the data that goes into it and what we contribute to it, right? AI is nothing without the data which we are providing to it, right? So at the end of the day, AI is only as good as the data behind it. This is really very important thing. AI will help the greatest impact when everyone can access it, and most importantly when it's built with everyone's benefit in mind, isn't it? So that's the thing. And as you can see on the screen, there are various things where you can find AI: Google Photos, just Google Assistant, Google Search Bar, or Google Lens, and many other products. Now I would say most of the information available on the internet is about the West, don't you think so? So 55% of the content is English and most of it is on the West or US. Now, what if I go onto the internet and search for a photo of a bride? This is something which the internet will give back to me, isn't it? But but will they be able to identify a bride from another part of the world? Now, here comes a question that how do we bring more diverse and unbiased information to the internet? So we will get to know. Let's take another example at the same time. Now, Google Photos can easily find pictures of a pancake in your photo library, isn't it? In the past, if you might have clicked a photo of a pancake, and after 1 year or 2 year, if you go on to the Google Photos and search for a pancake photo, the Google photo will directly give you out the photo, isn't it? But at the same time, it can't identify photos of a paneer, which is also called the cottage cheese. Why is it not able to identify? Because there is a lack of representation from Asian countries, Latin America, Africa, etc. Now, talking about some numbers to get a perspective on the diversity problem, here's an interesting statistics. Now, 9 million images on the internet are available publicly, and these all are under Creative Commons licenses, which are maintained by Google. Now, when I talk about open image dataset, it means that they are annotated with image level labels or object bounding boxes or object segmentation masks or any visual relationships, right? However, less than 3% of these 9 million images are only from India and China combined. Now, you see, these are the countries with the largest population in the world, and yet they only have less than 3% representation in the open images dataset. So think about the representation from countries like Vietnam or Japan or Kenya. It will be at a minute scale. So, and that is the problem that crowdsource is trying to address. So what's the solution? The only solution is that let's get images from all around the world to train our machine learning models. Now, can anyone identify this dish? If yes, just write down in the chats that this is the dish name or something, whatever you think this dish can be. So just use the live chat option on the YouTube and try to identify that what this dish can be. So I'm waiting for your answers in the live chat at the moment. And yes, I can see few chats coming up. Yeah. So yes, absolutely. There can be different answers to these images because there are variety of food dishes across the world, right? So basically, this is a dish named dosa, I would say. And for a particular, like the variety of dosa, there are many type of dosas in the world, and there are n number of dosa, I would say. So what we can do with this is that we can train the machine learning model with the help of images of different type of dosas, right? So now there are a lot of varieties of dosa. So do you think that I can identify those all type of varieties in a single go? I do not think so. For example, if someone places 10 dishes in front of me, I would hardly be able to recognize 2 or 3 out of them. But the person with with aware about the local cuisine can directly recognize that type of dosa, and they can directly name each and every type of dosa, isn't it? So that is the difference, because I'm not the person who is aware about the local cuisine or the local food items, isn't it? So the person only aware about the local cuisine can confidently name each and every one of them. Now here's another example. See, there's general lack of data on the internet. Now, as you can see over here, there's a dinosaur species named Allosaurus. I would go onto the internet and search for the Allosaurus and in English language. And the Google search will give me a plenty number of information about the same. It will give me the Wikipedia, it will give me the species, the generation, the images and whatnot, the height, weight, and everything else, right? What if I try to search the same thing in another language? Let's take an example of Hindi. It will give me some information, but not as much as compared to the English. It will give me few images, it will give me a short description. That's it. Now, what about the language like Azerbaijan? It will give me nothing. Why? Because there's a lack of content on the internet with respect to that language, with respect to Azerbaijani language, isn't it? So unless and until we do not have resources, we do not have content with respect to some languages, how would we be able to, get that information according to that language? Just imagine the people who are just knowing Azerbaijani and not any other languages. How would they get the access of plenty of resources on the internet? For people who are knowing English, they can search for anything and anytime, everything, right? What about those people who are not aware about the English and knowing only their local languages, and the content on internet is not even there in their language? So that's the question which we need to ask everyone. Now, here's an image which you can see on the screen. There's a person standing on a cliff. Now, I would like to ask again a question to you guys, that what kind of activity would you describe this to be? Now just see to that image and just try to imagine that what type of activity that person is doing, or what might be the feelings that person will be going through. Will he be excited? Will he be feeling happy? Will he be, anything else? What might that person be feeling? Just write down in the live chat. I'll be watching around that as well. Because he's standing on a cliff, so what would be his thinking at the moment, or what his reactions or feelings would be? Just write down in the chats. Yes, absolutely. So as you guys are writing, there are different ways one can feel, right? So in the same way, it depends on whom you ask. For example, if someone asks me, I'm a type of person who loves adventures, right? So I might be very curious about this image after looking this image, because I will be feeling excited at the same time. So there is no single ground truth for subjective opinions. Of course, it is not. It may vary by demographic, geography, and the way you are, the type of person you are. Absolutely right. So if any person who is feeling scared of height, he or she might be, feeling feared or fearful when they see such type of images, isn't it? So there are like different opinions with respect to different persons, of course. So why crowdsource? This now the question comes that why do we actually need crowdsource, right? So we need your help in making Google products work more inclusively, so that the Google products can learn and know more about your country and your culture. So how you can help? You can help make products more useful to more people around the world. And whenever you contribute to Google Crowds application, you will not only help the people, you will also help different products like Google Maps, Google Translate, Google Lens, Photos, and Android as well. And believe me, it can work in a more better way for your local community. Now, after thinking of contributing, we might have a question that how to contribute. That one can say that, okay, I have thought about contributing, I want to contribute. Now, here comes the question that how you can contribute. So first of all, the very important thing nowadays is that everyone has access to internet, isn't it? Everyone is having the smartphone or phone in general, and they do have internet access. But how do we help them get enough content that is useful for them? Now, here is the solution. There are various features that are available on the Google Crowdsource platform, right? And and just by contributing to those platforms or to those features, one can help with the contribution on platform as well. So here are few features I would like to highlight. So first of all, there comes the image label verification. It is very simple. What you all need to do is just, there will be an image and there will be a question. For example, here is an image, and this image is basically, it's asking that can ship be one of the, label for this image. Now I do not see any ship element in this image, so I would just directly click on no and then move forward. In the same way, the second feature is handwriting recognition. Now you can see on the screen that it is written YOU, it is handwritten. Now you just need to type down YOU in your language or the languages you know, and just hit the enter button. This is as simple as that. The third feature, as you can see over here is translation. So basically, translation is the thing which helps you, translate one statement or one word from one language to another language. For example, you know English, you know Spanish. You can translate sentences from Spanish to English, from English to Spanish. So what will that affect? It will affect Google Translate to work in a more inclusive and better way. So for example, tomorrow if someone from Spanish native language, search for something in Spanish on the internet, they will be able to get the results out of it, because we have given that training data set to the machine learning models, right? So that is how it is helping. Few other feature includes translation validation. So first one was translation, in which you are translating, and the other one is translation validation, in which you are validating the statement. So there might be multiple statements in like which are translated, and then you can directly tick mark for the correct statement, and you can select the cross for the incorrect statement and directly hit the next button. And if in case you are ambiguous about something or doubtful, you can directly skip that question. So that is as simple as that. Last but not the least, over here comes the image capture. That is one of my favorite, because what you all need to do is just face your camera onto some object, just click an image, and then you can directly label that image. For example, I'm clicking a picture of a scenery, and then I can see different stuffs in that image. So I would just click that image, upload on the Google Crowdsource application, and then I'll be labeling that image as, scenery, mountain, sky, tree, plant, grass, birds, like anything which I can see in that image. So what are you doing at this moment? So you are training the ML dataset for Google search and various different products. So whenever you like go onto Google search and try finding the photos of tree, you will find plenty number of images of tree. Why does not that show you the image of a river? Because the model has been trained with different sets of images of a tree. In the same way, this is how we are training that thing. Now I told you about different features and how it helps Google product get like more better and better every day. So let's see this video to understand this in more deeper way. And let me just play that once and then we can start.
Heard of machine learning, but what is it? Machine learning is a technique that allows computers to acquire skills by looking at several examples, instead of through sets of rules. Machine learning makes it easier for you to do things every day, like searching for photos of what you love, speaking to anyone in any language, and getting you exactly where you want to go, anywhere in the world. So how do machines learn? In machine learning, computers find, identify, and learn common patterns through sets of data. For example, showing a computer many images of cars teaches it how to recognize a car in any picture. The more variety of car images we show it, the better it gets at recognition. That's why your contributions to the Crowdsource app are important. They help create and verify accurate examples for computers to learn, which in turn enables features that benefit everyone. When you verify image labels, you help apps like Google Photos and Google Lens get better at classifying photos and identifying objects. When you label the sentiment of sentences, you help Google Maps and Google Play organize reviews in your language. When you verify translations, you help Google Translate make more accurate translations in your language. So your favorite apps get better for everyone, thanks to you. As part of the global crowdsource community, you're joining contributors in your country and throughout the world to contribute millions of examples. Your responses are combined with thousands of other users' answers to determine a best response, which is called ground truth. The ground truth is fed to machine learning models that find patterns to learn specific skills, such as how to identify cars in a photo or how to translate from one language to another. What a machine learns is limited by the data it's given. If we develop an image recognition algorithm with images from only a small part of the world, it will only recognize objects from that part of the world. In order for apps like Photos to work well for everyone, we must train machines using images from every part of the world. By using Crowdsource, you're representing your region, language, and opinions in training data. Thank you for being a part of the community.
Absolutely. So answers from you and millions of other people around the world are used in machine learning based products, and it in turn makes them work well for everybody around the world, including you and your local community. So that is the power of crowdsourcing. And here are different features, as you might have already noticed into the video, that there are various products that get enhanced by your contributions. So as you can see, there are different Google products like Google Maps, Google Translate, etc. Now, this is one of the interesting activity which used to happen later, but it's like landmark verification activity. So there is one of the comment I would just like to read out over here, that one of the person from a user of Google Map, that so Google Maps just told her to turn right from after the Burger King. So how interesting is that? For example, you are traveling somewhere and you are using Google Maps for just navigating, and it tells you that turn right after 200 meter. So you as a person, you as a human won't be counting that 200 meter manually, right? Isn't it? And you might be confused. And if there are multiple roads to your right side, you might be confused that to which road you should turn. But if the Google Map says you that turn right after Burger King, so you won't count that 200 meters. Instead, you will directly watch out for the Burger King. And as you see that Burger King, you can directly take a right turn, isn't it? So this has become much easier for people for navigating, for communicating, right? And this is how crowdsource is helping making Google products better. So this is just an example. Also, as I said, there has been impact with respect to photos, and as I said earlier, there's like 480,000 images of every day that has been, released as an open image data set in December 2018, right? So you can see how huge is that, and you can directly, just check out those images by visiting crowdsource.google.com/images, and you can directly check each and everything over there as well. Now, of course, the main thing is the community. There is nothing without people, and people makes the community. Crowdsource is a huge community with contributors like you and influencers like me from around the globe, helping in making people's lives better for all. So as you can see here, these are a few images from different parts of the world. There are people from different communities like Ukraine, Italy, Sri Lanka, Laos, Leone, Pakistan, Peru, Colombia, India, Indonesia, Cameroon, Iraq, and there are different communities as well. Here are different reviews from Google Crowdsource influencers and contributors as well. Here are some more. So it's like a very, outspoken community. People are contributing every day, every time with respect to their languages, with respect to their local culture and whatnot, right? And for many of the people, the crowdsource application is more of like a personal motivation. For example, here the comment you can see. Here is a person, here is a son who is helping his dad by contributing on the Google Crowdsource application, because his father is using Google Documents for work, for his work and everything else. So he's contributing for his native language, his son, so that his father can use Google Docs in a more better way. So how cool is that? These are some more reasons why people are using. So there are n number of reasons for that. And these are some top contributors from around the world who have actively contributed on Google Crowdsource. Even you can be the face of contributor, or you can be the face of Crowdsource one day just by contributing, regardless of anything, just because for the sake of your community, for helping people lives, making people lives better. Even you can contribute and come up onto this level as well. Also, this is what I like the most. So for example, I will say the country Bangladesh. So for them, their national language is like a national pride for them. And the image you can see over here is one of the crowdsourcing event. So before this pandemic came into the picture, we used to meet in person at various places, and we rigorously we used to contribute, we used to talk, have fun, and just contribute around crowdsource application. We used to have conversation over different topics, we used to have discussion. So this is one of the images from such an event where people from Bangladesh, or students I would say, are contributing on crowdsource application with respect to the translation feature. And you can see the enthusiasm in these people. They have their national flag as bandanas on, and this is like super energetic and super exciting to see. In the same way, people from different countries used to contribute on the same. Now here is an image from local influencers from a country. So we influencers are the backbone and strong believers of the mission of crowdsource, and we use our strong network to influence and rally our local communities together. And as of 2020, there are like local influencers in over 40 plus countries. So even you can be an influencer, and I will share more details on the same, that how you can become an influencer for your country, for your city as well. So after all this, what are you waiting for? Just download the Crowdsource application and contribute, and start your contribution from today. As you can see in the marquee below, you can download the Crowdsource application from Play Store, or you can directly visit crowdsource.google.com, and that will help you start with your contribution, right? And if in case you want to reach out to us, just check out our website to read more about crowdsource. And you can even write a mail to us at crowdsourcecommunity@google.com if you wish to build a community in your region. So also you can submit a feedback through the help option on the product. And yeah, stay connected on social media through our official Facebook page and the hashtag, of course, which I said earlier, that is hashtag Google Crowdsource. And with that being said, I would like to thank each and every one of you for attending this session and being with me so far. And yes, thanks for being a wonderful audience. And for being interactive. Whenever I asked something in the chats, you were super interactive, and I really liked all those answers of yours and really appreciate that. And also, I would love to connect with you all people on social media. So do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. My IDs are like Siddharth_hacks. And also, you can find me on LinkedIn. It's like Siddharth Dayalwal. And in case you are a hackathon enthusiast like me and Rafael, you can check out my hackathon journey as well. You can visit siddharth-hacks.live, and you can check my previous talks as well. And yes, feel free to reach out to me in case of any query. And yes, I'm done for the day. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot. Hey, Rafael. Hey, Ismail. How are you?
I'm very impressed. This talk was very interesting. I didn't know about crowdsource. I have heard of you in other talks. I think in Hack This Fall, but today this was like mind blown. I didn't know the main mission for this kind of community, and this is awesome. This is very helpful for different kind of people, like the people that say that his father needs to use Google Docs and need to translate to Azerbaijan, or this kind of or situations. I think this is amazing.
Definitely.
What does uh, what does happens if some people use Google crowdsource for troll? Uh, Maybe we can think about the negative people here in Mexico. Troll is people like used to do
with a lot of free time.
Exactly bad stuff only for disturbing or to annoy another people.
Yeah.
How does Google crowdsource filter?
Yeah, so it's like pretty simple, because what happens is that everyone has different user ID, right? So whenever they download the application, they log into with their account, and their progress, their contributions are tracked in different ways. So whenever you will download, you will observe that you are contributing for different features. It has different progress bar and a common general progress bar which shows your levels and different levels. Now, with respect to your contribution, the type of your contribution, after you contribute, the engineering team behind Google Crowdsource will be checking with a contribution. There is always an analysis, or because Google is the company who really takes care of the users around the globe, and if Google products are using that data behind those products, they are making sure that the data which they are getting is genuine and in the correct form. So the engineering team sorts out and filters out the negative data which is not correct to the correct label. For example, if there's in the image label verification, there's a question that if this image is an image of a cloud or not, and if that person says no, even if that's an image of a cloud, still the crowdsource team, the engineering team, knows what it is, and it will directly filter out the incorrect result. In the same way, if someone is uploading the image of a cloud in name of the image of a tree, so with the help of the pre-trained model, with the help of other users contribution, it will directly get to know that this is a false contribution, and it will directly eradicate all those contribution. So there's no chance of trolling or false contribution or something like that. So kudos to the engineering team behind the product.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Do you have any question, Tuxer?
You stole my only question.
Yeah.
A unique question. No, it's very interesting, all of this, and it's very. They give you any gift for contributing, or there is rewards or something like that for contributing?
Yeah, so you are asking how one can start with contribution, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. As I said earlier, that you just have to, if you are using Android, you can directly download the Crowdsource application from Play Store. And if you want to use the platform on the web version, you can directly visit crowdsource.google.com. So as soon as you will do that, you can see your profile, you can see different features on the platform, you can select one of them and just start contributing. There are, like as I said, different features like image label verification and different stuffs. So you can start with that. And at the end of the day, if you have done with your contribution for that particular day, you can directly see your dashboard, see your profile, and check with your contribution. There are like different levels that will motivate you for for contribution, like level 1, level 2 till level 18. So after you cross the level 10, you are directly invited to official crowdsource meetups by the team.
Oh.
So
So
as
it's like a social network.
sorry.
It's like a social network.
Yes, definitely. Because as I said earlier, whenever you will go to Twitter, just search for hashtag Google Crowdsource, and you will see n number of people, using that product and contributing every day. And just join the social buzz online as well. And as I said, when you will reach level 10 on Google Crowdsource platform, you will be invited to the official meetups of Google Crowdsource community. And after reaching level 15, you will be featured and given the certificate of appreciation. You will be featured on Facebook groups. Also, you can apply for influencer program. Like I am a crowdsource influencer, so anyone from our community, from GDG PM community, or from anyone around your city or your country can become a crowdsource influencer. What you all need to do is just mail the crowdsource community, and they will be reaching out to you in short period of time.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds great. We have some questions in the main chat. One of okay,
Which
for
one is it?
example, I'm a student, and how can I use crowdsource in a proper way?
Absolutely. So for students, I would say what you can do is that, as I said earlier, there are different features, but what most you can use is the translation thing, the translation validation. Because when I talk about students, I directly think about different features that I am using as a student. I use Google Lens, I use Google Docs. So what is that one thing that is common everywhere? The language, right? So what you can do is, if you know more than one languages, you can translate two languages or validate two languages. Because if you are a student and if you got to read some documents, and what you can do is just directly place the Google Lens onto that document and it will read loud for you. And if you want that the output or the result should be correct and should be without any error, you should contribute in your native language so that you can get better results and better outcomes about it, right? Also, when you are using Google Documents, you might have observed that if you do any grammar mistake or something, it tells you about that. It does the red line under that thing, right? So that is for English. But what if you write the same thing in your native language? If the Google Docs have relevant and appropriate content about your native language, it will also tell what is correct and what is incorrect. So for students, I would say you can use the translation validation and translation feature. And then there are n number of images. So you will enjoy each and every feature, I would say, but you can start with translation thing.
Okay. Cesar Octavio Mesa asked, how can he go deeper into crowdsource?
So basically, for going deeper, just one thing, keep in mind that be consistent and do not do false contribution. It's not that you have to do a lot. It's just that every day you can do minimum 10 contribution, and it's pretty easy. It's not hard. For example, if you're traveling somewhere, if you are getting bored, it's just that if you're playing any game, it's just that simple. As soon as you'll start with using the crowdsource application, you will understand the gamified version of that, the gamified UI, and you will start enjoying that. And it's not that you will get bored, and it's not that you have to get 10,000 contribution at a single day. It all starts from like small contribution. You can do small contributions every day, and slowly and gradually you will increase up with your level. And make sure your consistency is good and you are contributing the right context and the correct statements and everything, because that will help you to grow at a much larger level. Because your accuracy also does matter more than your level of contribution. So make sure you contribute in a correct way and in a consistent way. And that is all I would say.
Okay. Miguel Morales say thank you for the answer, and Cesar Octavio says awesome. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining this. All your replies were very interactive, and I really appreciate that.
And you need to know that Sid is also an ambassador of the Google Developer Group Puerto Morelos in India.
Yeah,
So you will see Sid a lot in our events, and I
absolutely.
hope after COVID we will have a Sid here in our country and our city, hoping that that COVID ends, but that's the main objective. So thank you so much, Sid. This was a pleasure for us to have you in our first event, and thank you also for the people that was on the live stream. Please feel free to join the community. I will let you the link to join. Give me a second, please.
Thank you, Sid, for sharing all of this with us.
Yes, absolutely. As I said, I always love talking with people around the world, and opportunities like this is only for which I look out for. And thanks a lot for inviting me at the first place.
No, thank you, Sid. Uh, okay, I have sent the GDG community group. Also, I will send the Discord
Link.
the Discord link. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, I have sent you the link to join the Discord server, where where we will have study groups for Python, Golang, Amazon Web Services, Python, and etc. And we will look forward to to join us. Okay, so feel free to ask any one of us any doubt or query you have, and we will try to respond as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Tux, do you want to add something?
Nothing else. I'm good. That's all for me.
Perfect. So see you on our next event, and thank you again. See you. Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.